Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Boy Kennels. Have here another iWeb tip. Yes, an iWeb tip for those folks that do have their own host. Whereas your host allows you to have add-on domains and also subdomains. Now, as we all know, in order to use iWeb with your own domain the way it currently is, you would have to go and purchase a new domain, or at least the name that you want to use as your domain name, rather than it saying web.mac.com/ your domain. So, what do we all do? We all go purchase a domain, or at least for those that want to use a domain name. Now, the reason I bring this up is because for those folks that do have their own host, it's pretty much just as cheap, if not free at times, depending on the host that you're with, to have a additional domain name, aka add-on domain. Now, as in my case, I have one account, but I have several add-on domains. One of them being this one right here, williev.com. Now, this is an add-on domain to my main domain. But some folks may find that 10 gigs it's just not enough space for them. So they need a lot more space or bandwidth. Now, I believe it's 100 gig of bandwidth with the DotMac subscription and 10 gigs of disk space. Now, for most users, that is more than enough. But if you're one of these folks that like to do video tutorials, just a whole lot of video stuff in general, you may find that 10 gigs is just not enough space. So, this is where I'm leading up to. You can take your add-on domain, which has to point to the cname for the .mac web or .mac subscription, so that you're able to use your personal domain. Now, if your host allows you to use the subdomain, then you can still use your subdomain even though the cname is pointing to the domain name for your .mac account. So, my example, let me just zoom in. I have a subdomain created as tutorials.williev.com. Now, williev.com is an add-on domain for my main account, which it would just point to williev.com. Now, the reason I have the subdomain is because I want to be able to host a majority of my videos or tutorials or just a slew of things. And I don't want to really count on or use the limited space that I have on my .mac account when I can surely use it for other smaller things, such as pictures, stuff like that. Something that's not going to take up a lot of space. Not saying that the .mac subscription is not worth it. I think it's very much worth it. It has a lot of great features. Okay, but aside from that, as I was saying, I use the subdomain to pretty much host most of my videos, which I've gone and just created a basic page stating blah blah blah, you have reached my subdomain, please go to the correct URL. Now, as an example, this was one of the videos that I did, which is actually hosted on my subdomain account. Now, I could have very well hosted it on my main domain, but then it would say, www.maindomain.com, even though I may have it pointing to my domain name for my .mac account. So I figure I share that tip with others. You may find it useful, you may not. You may just say, blow it out your But, again, if you find that useful, that way, at least your videos will point to the same name or your subdomain to the name of the domain name that you're using for your .mac account. Well, this was Bullboy Kennels. Thank you for taking the time to watch.